Hey, how's it going, guys? We are live streaming and we just started a minute ago. Morning over there. How you doing, guys? Look at the Nasdaq. Interesting times ahead, right? I'm gonna have some trading going on today and enjoy ourselves on the live streaming. How do you hear me, guys? Do you hear me nicely? And hey, let me know, chat. How do you hear me? Exciting times, exactly. Looking for this amazing stream. Not only this one, fellas, we're gonna stream for Monday to Friday continuously. So we're gonna trade our Ticktick trader accounts. We got 3 brand new accounts prepared for this. I'm starting from scratch, and together we're gonna experience a nice journey out here. Great, I can see, guys, you hear me perfectly. I can see the chat, so that's nice. Make sure to hit that like button and share this one with your friends, fellas. We are getting started on a live streaming journey. So this is gonna be an interesting day out here, especially with the Nvidia earnings tomorrow. That's gonna be a hell of a day with volatility and a difficult time to trade. I guess tomorrow we got Wednesday Nvidia earnings, which is gonna shake the markets along with the GDP coming out later this week. This is gonna be quite exciting, especially in the last couple of days we've been downtrending aggressively. So that's not gonna be an easy moment to trade today. We're gonna utilize different time frames and talk about a whole lot of the things and take it slowly, right? So this is not gonna be a rush. We're gonna be here and perform. From London, we do have thoughts of funded futures. A few guys out here writing us messages. We're about 20-30 guys live, and that's quite nice out here. Right, so how's it going, fellas? Where are you from? Where are you located right now? In what countries, what cities are you on chat? Look at that. Let me share with you something, fellas. Look at that. Look at that. That must be a nice green tea, which is usually what I'm having. A Japanese green tea. I'm not drinking coffee, and I'm more of a green tea guy. Look at that, nice guys out there. Scotland, Poland, New York City, India. Oh, you must be enjoying that cup, right? I definitely enjoy this comfortable blue color. Look at that. And that's something we have to perform to get this, right? We have to be very profitable to be able to take this nice cup. Great. So here's our Discord. Don't forget about it to participate in our Discord. Do not also forget about it to join our post on X. We've got our giveaway that we're going to do today. Do not forget about it. The link is located on my Discord for everything. And for those of you that are familiar, feel free to reach out on that. We got people from all over the world. Yeah, probably with a cup you get this when you get to a milestone. It's very interesting, guys. I guess I have to... Morning over there, fellas. What a nice time. I hope you hear me nicely. I hope you hear also there is a background music going on. Pretty slowly, comfortable. But I guess we have to talk about the markets very soon. We've got 24 minutes till the openings, and I'm not sure yet what kind of trades to perform. There is a lot of the room to the upside. So this is kind of scary. If you go to the 4-hour candlesticks and we're looking at the left side of the chart, it's kind of scary to see how does the markets dumped from 22,200s into 21,400s with a bit of rebounding at this level. We do have the monthly low established. It's kind of obvious the monthly low has been established at this time. But also a few other things that must be considered when we are approaching the markets. Yearly and monthly is right below us, which is kind of bothering me. We might front run them indeed. We might not get into the yearly, which is at 21,269, or the monthly 21,200s. We might not get into those, but at the same time, I'd like to see how does the opening folds out so we can take it forward from there quite slowly. We trade on a very small scale, very small set. We're not going to rush. We're not going to try and hit those big numbers, big days, especially live stream trading is totally different. I've been sharing my thoughts with some of the guys, and they do experience difficulties into trading live compared to the time of trading when you're pretty much not exposed like that so transparently. This is bringing extra difficulty, which is why it's down for all the guys that are trading nicely on live. That's a quality. Yeah, the music is relaxing. We gotta have an extra cup of tea. Where I am currently in Hungary. This is the place I'm born, and this is the place right now I am streaming from. But I do travel a lot, so it's kind of interesting how we're gonna travel with all the live streaming and all that stuff. It's gonna be a total different journey we're gonna approach with this ones, but I guess we're gonna find a way around it, and of course enjoy. Great, so let me look into the Nasdaq for a few moments out here and take out these things and grab my EMAs on 4 hours is what I care, especially on the 5 minutes. This is how it's located, kind of getting rejected from the 200 EMA, which is how we have been punished last time as well. We got in contact with this. A very good form of approaching along would be this, bouncing from the EMA, but that is obviously a long way to go. So not that comfortable at the end of the day. Yeah, it's difficult to long, especially knowing there are different supports and pivot points appearing. This is a low here, which I would be paying attention on. That's something I would pay attention, and what we are reacting right now is basically this representation of the price on that one. That's exactly what we're reacting. Let me know how you can see. I guess you can see this way a little bit better. I can move myself up and down. I could move myself to the top right corner and talk to you like that. We're also going to have this charts from the Project X on Ticktick Trader. So there is an exclusive discount. There's a guy asking an exclusive discount for TTT with Scrambo, 40% discount. Exponential moving average is the EMA. Exponential moving average, you would like to consider. There is an indicator that you can grab on indicators for TradingView. I do have it amongst my favorites. It's the EMA 20, 50, 100, 200 important price representations where usually the market is reacting. So this is what is covered with the blue line, the 200 one. The other ones are turned off, right? The red one, orange, and then the light blue is turned off from 20, 50, 100, and 200 EMAs. If we turn them on, then what we see here is a decent reaction from the 50 and 100 EMAs with a possibility obviously to retest the 200 days here. This is a movement that's kind of squeezed with a really undecided behavior. I wouldn't touch the markets at this level for sure. Yeah, the 200 is the EMA blue line. Yeah, I'm gonna move myself to the top right corner just like you can see this way. Probably this was a little bit better. 3 accounts prepared on Ticktick Trader running around nicely, totally from scratch, 150k. This is the most utilized. By the way, for those of you that would like to join on board, you got basically the link right there, and it is the code Scrambo at the checkout for those of you that would like to grab your accounts exclusively on discount. So getting back to our story, 400s right here, hoping it reacts on 5 minute. It's something interesting that the information on the 1 minute comes out a little bit different. There is a confluence here appearing on the 1 minute 200 EMAs, right? So that's something to consider as well, and the reaction is not missing. The 200 EMA could be utilized on the 5 minute, but also 1 minute as well. So in this case scenario, if we would like to work with a trending line approach as well, which is something that I need, you know, there is a possibility here for a push, there is a possibility here for a minor breakout. It's just that I don't really like this trending line in the way it looks like. I would love to see a retest of this trending line like this and then push with the markets. That would look a lot better. We're gonna do copy trading, but we're also going to trade individually. I like to do copy trading between 2 accounts, and I'd like to set up my copy trading right here in front of you. So the first thing you want to do is go to your settings, and then you got your copy trading on the top left corner, and then you want to select the lead account, which is basically the account that you're gonna trade on and which is gonna get copied, right? We got these 3 specific accounts. The leader is gonna be this boy right here ending on 32, and we're gonna copy the 33, yet not the 34, and then obviously save the changes, and that's it, right? So the L next to the number comes in as a leader, and then the F comes in as a follower account. So the other one, the last one ending on 34, is basically the one which is not going to be under copy trading. It's going to be traded alone. Look at that. We got here the 1 minute chart, but this is not the place I'm doing my charting. It's kind of impossible to work around it. I do enjoy doing my charting on TradingView and adjusting it from there. Interesting, guys. We do have a form of a breakout here on our 200 EMA, and this might be very interesting in the way it folds out. And we're revisiting. For execution, we're using Project X, coming from TTT prop firm. So it's not Trade of 8, it's not TradingView. I like for execution the Project X. We could take the microphone a little bit higher, that's not an issue. Just a little bit higher on the microphone. I could also get a little closer to it. Look at that, guys. This is an interesting spot here to try on a long. There's 14 minutes to go till the markets will open. And the volatility is right there, representing a danger. I'm not really that happy around trading before the market opens because of lack of sense in the markets. Usually the patterns that are having difficulties playing out before the market opens with a few minutes, which is actually the case scenario right here. Look at that, it's retesting the line we just broke out. It's kind of, I don't like this type of trending lines that are too sharp downwards, too aggressive downwards. I like the trending lines that are having a more of a flat approach like this. Look at that. Very clear touches, very clear representations, and then at some point we could utilize this specific trending line. But in the way it is right there at the top, it's something that I'm not really enjoying to work around exactly before the market opens. The number one quality someone needs to have, as you see, as you hear me speaking, is by being cautious about the trading you're doing. So extra safety is actually what makes the money, and the most of the time by being out of the market is actually what makes you money. So I do know prop firms are making nice money about people purchasing accounts, but this is not our job here in terms of our live stream. We're doing it specifically not for the prop firms. We're doing this live streams for the traders. And the prop firms have a lot to benefit from great traders. So it's not just about selling accounts and making money from sales. Yeah, it could be a nice false breakout, so it's interesting to see. Although the 200 EMA reacts interestingly on the minute as well. Yeah, it is not the most reliable on the 1 minute. It has to be on a higher time frame. The higher the time frame is, the better it is. The lower the time frame is, the more you get into a noise type of a market where it's just, you know, empty words. Yep. We gotta wait it out and see. 12 minutes to go, guys. Hope you have a great time out here. More and more people join. Make sure to hit that like button. And we are... how many guys? About 30, 40, 50, 60 guys on the stream enjoying our times. 21,400 Nasdaq wants to hold this trending line. Not sure if it has the ability yet to do it. Finally has to confirm on that. So we are going to give it time. Daily, yearly, monthly opens. Take a look at that, guys. What you see right now on my screen is the daily, yearly, and monthly. That's exactly what I said. Yearly opening is at 21,269. So it's really dangerous, as you could get a nice flush into that, 0.61%. And that's a great place to try out on a long, as well the monthly opening as well, 21,200. Those are two great places to try out on a long. So it's always a risk right there for that one to appear. Let me show you another thing. Let's have a look into the RSI cycling smooth version number 2. I'll look for a potential divergence, which is not the case in the way it shows up. This is an interesting edited type of RSI. If I go to the about this script, you will be able to read around it. Cycling smooth relative strength indicator. You know, it's an enhanced form of classic RSI with additional smoothing according to the market vibration, adaptive upper and lower bands according to the cyclic memory, and using the current dominant cycle length as input for the indicator. So it's something very interesting, which I have the excitement to be utilizing for divergences and convergences. We're gonna learn in the next streams about the indicators that I'm utilizing. We're gonna learn how to utilize them as well, which are the ones that I kind of go around. As well, talk about markets continuously. We're also going to cover some news at some point in terms of the markets. And of course, have our great time of education. As usually, you've been used around my channel. We've been putting together educational materials, which was quite exciting with that. Look at that. This is a possible reaction, fellas. It's a possible retest of the breakout, and it's also the 200 EMA right there. It's very tempting to get into a trade here, guys. It's very tempting. It's about 8 minutes to go before the opening bell. So I could test out on an MNQ, right? I could go around on a micro. Thinking about it, you know, these are the moments usually where you feel a contradiction as a trader. You pretty much have certain set of rules, certain set of things that you've been discovering based on your trading experience, that you know respecting them is great. But at the same time, there is the internal feeling that constantly hits you by greed, and you want to be part of the markets. This is probably the most difficult thing people experience, to be out of the markets, looking at the charts and sit out of the markets. Yeah. It's holding for now. 7 minutes to go. Daily looks interesting. It has been a range here for Nasdaq for a while already. Has been a range above 21, around 20,900s, with the bottom around that one, specifically coming from this top. Specifically coming from the previous top that we established at that level, right? So we've been having the low part of the range right there, 20,800, starting from 800s. You have a nice demand zone. Look at the 200 EMA, how nicely it reacts. Right, so I'm kind of afraid with the Nvidia earnings, because if the markets will consider that as negative, the impact could go as low as your 200 EMA, which means 20,260s, right? So there is a lot of room for that, and I wouldn't be surprised if the market negatively reacts to the news to see that price action. Got to be careful on the swing trading with this one, fellas. Yeah, let's talk about other things as well. Let me see what chat is pretty much putting together. What is your stop loss and take profit? What software are you using to stream? This is an OBS software. It's the classic OBS software. We got our settings represented, and this is my first stream, guys, so it's kind of exciting. What is your stop loss and take profit? Getting back to this specific question, so the stop loss and take profit is always specific. Specifically, how does the market request me to work around it? That's the way I like to go about it. There's multiple strategies you can approach, and you have to see which is the best for you. I mean, I know this is something everyone says, but that's the reality. That's the reality. It's not possible to copy myself, even if I would be in your case. It's not possible, even by myself, to copy myself every single time in the same way. It's not going to work forever like that. So it's very interesting that the only thing that works is the continuous adjustment in our trading approach, right? This specific thing adjusting continuously to the nature of the market and to the nature of your performance. This is what works, the adjustment, this dynamic type of approach. That's the only thing that works. So we can do it 1-to-1 ratio. We can always have a positive ratio as well. 2-to-1, 3-to-1. 1-to-1 sometimes works a lot better. No stop loss works great sometimes on prop firms. No stop loss on personal accounts is bad. With prop firms, you got the edge. You pay $400. You have a payout of $3,000 or $4,000. So you have that room to lose some accounts and still be profitable. That's why sometimes for some people during certain segments of the market works better without stop loss, which could be weird, but that's the way it is. At the end of the day, it's just about printing money. So if that's the way you're printing money, it's not an issue at all. Yeah, Nvidia earnings to trade, well, that's a good approach to wait till you get the informations. Thank you guys with your great messages. Have a good look at the Ticktick Trader Cup. This is our enjoyment and excitement right here. Let's get back to our 1 minute chart. Look at that. We've been losing that specific trending line, falling below. Volatility is increasing. There is about a minute and a half till we get the openings. This is clear. A nice level holding there. Let me just do it this way. That's kind of clear. We're going to take CRSI out and go around this way. I'm going to work with this level as well. We're preparing the charts for today. The problem is right now, the 200 EMA, the blue one, is basically above us, right? So it could be a problem. Look at a nice pump, look at a nice reaction. About 40 seconds to go till the opening. I'd like to have a bell as well at the time we open. I need to put that on OBS. I need to put that on my streaming settings. In the next streams, we're going to have that bell ringing at the time the market opens. It's not prepared for today. You know what we got prepared for today, guys? Let me share with you. Look at this one. There you go. Look at this one, guys. This is what we've got prepared for the time we've got profitable trades. This is how we're going to play around. Fireworks. Look at that. Beautiful. You'll definitely enjoy the times we've got profitable trades. V-shaped recovery. Market grabs some liquidity before the opening, and there is a second, so here we are. The market is opened. Interesting volatility. As you already know, on TTT, you definitely need to hold your position for at least 10 seconds after the opening, or at 5 minutes. Right? So within the first 5 minutes, you definitely need to hold your position for at least 10 seconds. Which is why within the first 5 minutes, for those of you that are trading, you have to trade very low in size. And it's difficult to do micro scalping, because 10 seconds is usually denying the possibilities to do great micro scalping. So that's why you kind of have to avoid those first 5 minutes and then grab your micro scalping strategies afterwards. Look at that, guys. Interesting times. We gotta look into the 5 minute as well. I'd like to see how do we move around this specific wick which we have been establishing. Look at that, we're about to break below. This is a really powerful closing. if we get below the previous week, which is not an easy task, but as you already know, the market openings are quite hectic. Look at that. You know that right now it's kind of difficult to get into longs without approaching this level, right? Look at that opening, fellas. It's the usual volatility, I would say, before Nvidia. We also have some other news coming out today from the US markets. Nothing, you know, crazy huge in terms of importance, but still having an impact out here. We had a fair value gap sitting around here. This is a place where we had a fair value gap. That one right there that I haven't circled. So the market coming into that fair value gap, which was, by the way, a powerful candlestick, is an interesting spot for a market bouncing. Could work it out along here with a stop loss below the current wick. That's a possibility right there. I got two possibilities right now. If I believe in a revisit of the 200 EMA, then I would have to long here with a stop loss below the wick. Or if I believe basically the market is going to continue back to the bottom it has been created earlier in the day on the pre-market, such as this, then I have to wait for a possibility of re-entering at this level. Right, so there's two possibilities out here. Depends on your preference. Price action shows a level of buying pressure, but it's not kind of fully convincing, so it's not that type of a trade where you could be fully convinced about it. And there is a little taste out here to long this with a stop loss below the wick. We could give it a try on an MNQ, right? On a micro. Just to be in the markets a little bit, just to be part of this whole thing. We could play around the MNQ. Look at that, micro Nasdaq. And we could get our first trade. Yeah, beautiful rejection on the 200. On the 5 minutes. Remember, for day trading, what you care about is 5 minutes and 1 minute for the 200 EMA. That's what you care about. So combination must be right there. And of course, you got to keep track of the 4 hour, of the daily as well. If it's to talk about, you got to keep track of HTF, high time frame, 200 EMAs as well. It's just that you don't get to touch them that often, and it's not really an issue compared to the 5 minute or a minute. Look at that, fellas. It's a pretty weak reaction so far. The minute looks interesting. The minute is not looking that bad, right? With a stop loss right below the current green candle that we just closed, could be interesting. Look at that, fellas. That's something to approach. We're gonna get 5 MNQs. Hit a buy market on 5 MNQs, the first trade. Hope you can see that. Let me just move myself here. There you go. I'm gonna sit right there on the left side so you can see things a little bit better. No stop loss has been set so far, as you can see. We're handling this trade actively by doing a market close if necessary. This is a place of reaction. This is a place where we're expecting a form of reaction here. 350s, 340s. Got crazy volatility. 200 EMA rejects twice here. That's not the best sign for sure. That's definitely not the best sign right there. It's kind of hard to say in this specific trade how much I'm willing to lose. I don't have a predefined number. Specifically on this trade, I'm getting into without a predefined number. Breaking the lows. This is a place of rejection. It's definitely needing a rejection here. It's also a spot which I could increase my size a little bit, have 3 contracts added on top of it. And we got into 3 contracts more. So we've got 8 contracts, MNQs right now, micros. Now the stop loss is definitely going to set below this, right? So it's clear right now, if the market comes back again below the previous low, I'm no longer going to hold this thing. It's very likely the market is going to go much lower. In terms of the exit, I'm still going to let this one run for a little, especially the 200 EMA comes in again. I'd like to see a possible touch of the 200 EMA on the 5-minute. That would be great, which means 420, 425. Look at that. Kind of ugly, right? This massive up and down here. A lot of nonsense. Same rejection on the minute, guys. Look at that. Same rejection on the minute. With a possibility, of course, with another push to the upside from here. Or simply I'm gonna take a loss. $825 plus commissions. About 830, 840 if that's the case. That's the way to start a live stream, right? Look at that. About to get hit. About to get cooked. on the first trade. Is it gonna push? Is it gonna reject going down? Are we gonna get saved? There's about 5 points right there. Look at that. We might get saved in the last minute, fellas. Wouldn't be bad, right? Let's go for the push. Come on. Looks good right now. Much better.
Order filled.
And there you go. The first stop loss has been touched. With a possibility, of course, for the markets to push from this level, but I'm not going to re-long it here for sure. I'll have to wait for the lows that we established a few hours ago, right there. I'm not going to be able to re-long it here, definitely not. So we could set a limit order on 21,295, 21,290. The next 5-minute candle, that could be the one rejecting basically the sell-off, reacting positively and looking for a V-shaped recovery. If the market is not going to break the lows, for sure. Which is the alternative. We're going to switch to the account which has not been traded, to the account which was not under the copy trading. Yeah, it's kind of bearish. We've been looking for a form of bouncing. It has been bearish for the last couple of days. So as we get through closer and closer to Nvidia EPS announcement, could remain bearish till that point. Indeed. There's a possibility here for markets bouncing around the 300s. Right, so a limit order wouldn't be an issue. We set a limit order like that, 5 contracts on 21,295. There you go. 21,295, which stands basically for the lows we put together today at that level. $295 around this level. Five FNQs. We also have the ability to reshort any little push, right? We're getting any little move we're getting to the upside to reshort that. That always remains on the table. A rejection is there. There is a constant selling pressure, which is pretty strong here. We're about to get filled on our limit order. 295. Just a couple of points away from that. Come on. Do it. Could be a good opportunity from there. We could also get front run. Come on.
Order filled.
There you go. So we got into the trade. 5 FNQs. Micros. Could nicely push back for the 200 EMA. We could also nicely push back to this market chopping going around. That's a place of liquidity. Markets enjoy getting back to those levels where you have a sudden zigzag up and down like that nonsense. So it wouldn't be bad from 295 for a 360s. Back to that specific supply zone that we've got. The only problem here is the sentiment, which is bearish. The entry is quite good. The sentiment is the one that it's not good to fight against, of course. This could be an interesting level as a low to hold onto this one. I would actually enforce my position here with an extra 3 contracts.
Order filled.
There you go. We got filled. We got 8 contracts again. And looking for it. Obviously, it's quite early in the game. It looks like a falling knife, which is dangerous when it comes down to trading. It looks like a falling knife with a possibility here on a temporary recovery. Nothing has been confirmed of a sustainable, continuous, strong recovery, right? It's too early for that. There is a possibility from here to react. If we visit the higher time frames, looks ugly, right? So you just cannot have your 15-minute closing below the previous, and the market is tanking even lower. 4 hour. 4 hour looks terrible, guys. Look at that. 4 hours is a massive rejection from the highs, 259, 260s already. It's a massive rejection. We've been having a great 4 hour candle engulfing the previous one, but there is 8 minutes to go out of this one. And the way it looks like is quite terrible for longs. There has to be a form of reaction here, but there is not much time to go. 5-minute candles. We just broke below that one. And obviously, it's already hurting. $800 we're down on this one as well. And it's continuing. Look at that opening, fellas. Daily candle. We're kind of approaching a place where we've been reacting in the past, just like I've mentioned. 220s, 230s, 200s as well are all places of reactions. 10-minute looks kind of ugly. 5-minute as well. But there is a possibility here to go around the copy traded account and force for a form of V-shaped recovery. There's one thing here that I definitely want to talk to you guys. So keep pushing around a type of trade. For example, right now, if I keep pushing around a long, I'm paying a big price for that. Why is it so? Well, because you're kind of trading against the trend and you're searching to make money from movements that are not the dominant energy. And that's not the best way to go about it. So on the other side, you've been seeing the markets dumping like that. Shorting on such continuation is also difficult because of the risk of recovery, the risk of reversals, which are quite often. We already know. We've been having such reversals. Have a look into that. In the last couple of hours. So it's just the current openings that triggered a lot of the pressure without reactions so far. Everything is kind of down. BTC as well. Bitcoin, which is something that I'm trading, is also down a lot. We could have an interesting spot here around the 200s that we could test out on a long. Yep. More and more data is going to get released in about 5 minutes. I don't want to have any new long position open before that. I could test out a long on the copy traded account. But it's dangerous knowing that even the single account is in minus with a trade. 294 is where we got into. That level didn't held. We didn't exited. We're down by $540, $550. And reaction so far is nice. Which means that if we get to this level, come back, there's a possibility basically to relong this nicely. There's a real possibility to relong that nicely. Everyone hit the like button, guys. We're out here 60 fellas enjoying. There is no fireworks right now. With the trades that I did so far, no fireworks. Nothing. It's so far an example of how not to trade. This is also something very interesting when it comes down to live stream trading. You don't only learn how to trade, but you also learn how not to trade. When it comes down to my situation, fellas, you want to learn from both things. When I do trade correctly, you want to learn that. When I do trade wrong, you want to learn what to avoid. Which is why even such situations are pretty much healthy for our viewers. It's not healthy for my budget, for my pocket, purchasing accounts and trading like that. That's not good, of course. but this is part of the learning curve, especially live stream trading. I'm experiencing this for the first time, and there is a bit of a tension going on, right? So I'm gonna get used to this, and I'm gonna have great moments in the upcoming period. But like I said, when we do mistakes, it's good for our viewers to be careful about it. Of course, they do have to know the CFTC 4.41 hypothetical disclaimer. You want to be careful on your whole trading experience and only utilize resources that you're afford risking. This is no financial or investment advice on my streams at all. Look at that. There is a form of recovery almost back to the level. And guess what? There is a risk level here to be reverted. Exactly where I got into my trade. This is a possible pivot point, which right now could get converted against me. And then it takes the whole markets back to the same level. Let me tell you something. That's possible, guys. And I'm in a long on a place which is right now a possibility to be acting as a resistance. That's the difficulty about it. However, 2 minutes to go. Look at a cup. This is the only good thing out of the whole picture right now. Ticktick Trader Cup. Yeah, live stream is very hard, and I'm enjoying this so far. So I don't have any issues showing my losses. No, basically you take care about your expenses, you take care about the accounts, you take care about everything that you are doing on your own, just like you get the rewards when it comes down to the payouts. Yeah, live streaming, not yet sure about how to get this cup publicly, guys. It's something that I'm gonna think about. So it's something that I'm gonna talk with the guys from TTT and see if there is a possibility to have a nice community showing their cups at a time of the market tradings. Together, we're gonna be out here at 2 p.m. UTC time, 2 p.m. and 15 minutes, around that one. Daily, depends. I'm gonna have my schedule on my Discord. I'm gonna have the video on my channel as well scheduled. So if you grab some time, you will be able to see it at a little earlier and move around the corner from there. We are gonna stream from Monday to Friday, and if there are exceptions, I'm gonna announce that on my Discord. Make sure to join my Discord, fellas. The links will be published every single time over there. What's happening on the opening? Just like I told you, the place that used to be a great possibility of reaction has been converted into resistance, and that's exactly where we came down. But you know what? This is also a good spot right now to relongate on the other accounts, right? So this is what you would do when you're degenerate. You would relongate from here on the other accounts, right? On a leader, on the accounts that we lost earlier, $800. What an interesting situation, guys. I mean, it's kind of hard to relongate here, honestly. You know, I'm going for 5 contracts.
Order filled.
We're going for 5 contracts on the other account. The trade here is still open, $1,600. We're down with this one. 8 contracts. Not comfortable at all. 21,187 on the copy trading accounts. Let's see how does it work here. It's a good spot of reaction. Imagine a whole rejection back to the blue line, back to the previous closings, back above 200s. That's the only thing I'm requesting from this candlestick. Back above 200s, which is not difficult at all to look at that, guys. We're 224. We're already $400 on this one. Could nicely go higher and recover the loss we had in our initial trade. And there is another thing here from Ticktick Trader. It's not like I'm a salesperson of a Ticktick Trader, but all these things do look great, guys. Look at this one, right? This is a nice bottle that you're going with by having water inside, and you can utilize that to enjoy yourselves. Like I said, not a salesperson, but it's definitely cool stuff. Data is negative. CB consumer confidence 98.3. Data is negatives. Still a minute to go for this candle, and I'm hoping for a nice closing above the 200s. Although the entry for this one could be nice, but I definitely hate the rejection we got here on the previous 1 minute candle. That's... oh, look at that, guys. There's a risk right there. Come on. Give me that closing above 200s. That's something that we could get saved. You know, this type of mentality is not good, guys. Utilize this as a wrong example where you kind of request the markets to give you what you've traded to save your ass. Give me that stuff because that's what I traded. Give me the other side because that's what I wanted to see. Ticktick Live has a lot of rules. Of course it has. Just like the majority of the companies. The thing is, we're utilizing their resources when it comes down to live trading, which represents a level of risk. A level of risk of finance. When you are handling resources, real resources to users, you definitely need to establish an environment that has a strong level of predictability and cut your risk as much as you can. This is what a company needs to do in order to survive, right? So right now, guess what, guys? I'm in a knife catching type of a trade. It's terrible. It's also very difficult to exit, and you already know the feeling why. Because with every single possibility right there, there is a, chance of a strong V-shaped recovery. And you don't want to see that V-shaped recovery while you've just exited. But at the same time, you definitely have to protect yourself against the big losses, which is the number one priority traders should have. There is no possibility, guys, to make money if you have bigger losses. Whatever you make is going to be worthless. Take a look at that. Every little green candle is getting sold today, guys. Every little green candle is getting knocked out today. Nothing holds. Look at that. It's a massive cascade effect. Yep. There's no strong buyers, but I've been looking forward 20-30 points to the upside. And that's it. 20-30 points quite quickly, and that's it. But still, they're missing even that one. We had some possibilities to exit, especially on this trade that we did. We were around $400 in profit when we were up to 228, 229. No, this is an interesting trade that we have on this copy trading account right here. Especially if it goes into 77, 80s, 90s. could be a nice timing right now to enforce this position that I have here with a stop loss right below. Because there is a chance right now for a strong push. I mean, 30, 40 points, not more. It doesn't seem like. There's no such a thing, strong push these days. No buyers. No one cares about buying. Come on, guys. We deserve a little more. Look at that. Nice possibility right there. There's a form of buyers holding onto that level, but could be just temporary. So, I mean, we just need about 3 green candlestick of a minute, and we could easily be around 50s, 60s. 3 green candles, one after the other, just like we had it over here. Even when you are downtrending in a cascade effect, you still get some bouncing because the market grabs liquidity from higher levels and traps longs into the highs, just like I've been trapped into my initial trade right there on a 200 EMA. This is what happens when you trade without seeing the breakout first and you're expecting basically the market to break out. And then it's not happening, so you end up losing. The other trade is running on the other account, of course. It's 1,900. I don't want to do anything about that one right now. I would love to enforce this position on a bigger size, on a bigger scale. This is a level which we could get to hold. But we're down $800 in this specific account, so not really. Cannot assume additional risks. No. Even if it sometimes saves you, right? You don't want to face the consequences that are negative of such type of trading, which is why it doesn't matter to be saved 3 times if the 4th you get liquidated. Like, it's useless. That kind of trading is useless. There you go. What a strong rejection again on this minute candle. Look at that, guys. It's interesting. It's not really having any form of ability. Where are the buyers for the market continuation? It's just sellers stepping in non-stop. We had 20 points deleted in 2 seconds. Gotta find a way out of this. Not out of this specific trade, but out of the other one. Out of this one, guys. Gotta have a way out of this trade. Like, I wouldn't mind closing out on a loss, but definitely not in a place where we could have a reaction. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, Arthur, for the great time. Yeah, it's very difficult to long the markets right now, but at the same time, it is also difficult to short the market during such sentiment with a tight stop loss. You know, the reactions of the bulls, as we have been used, they could be brutal. So shorting with a tight stop loss can easily take you out, can easily wipe you out, you can be one of those little fishes grabbed by the unnecessarily noise which is usually appearing in the market. So it's kind of a time where trading has to be really slowed down. I'm also most of the time a person trading on longs. So most of the time, about 70% of my trades are longs. And you know that feeling when you are a type of a long trader, a long biased, a person which is feeling great by being into longs. You know that kind of feeling when the market is totally going the other side and you're trying to catch smaller movements to the upside, which is probably the most difficult thing. Obviously, the best thing in this case scenario is to fully avoid the type of trading you enjoy doing and trying to work with smaller sizes by shorting the markets, trying to be part of what works in terms of the trend and going around with that one. Yep. Hey guys. Welcome fellas. Welcome to all the new guys right here. Make sure to like the video, guys. And by the way, for those of you that would like to be part of Ticktick Trader, the place I'm trading, you've got all the links in the comments area. You've got all the links in the description area. With a coupon code as well at the checkout, you have the ability to get the maximum discount 40%. If you enjoy that, of course. So 1 minute is not looking great at all, guys. It's kind of looking ready for another round of market continuation. Right, so it's do or die right now during this minutes. It's do or die. And there is a strong risk here to revisit the 21,000s, which would be a pain in the ass. Look at that. Just as I said, another 390, 400. And of course, the other one is quite terrible. Sits on $2,400. Let's have a look into like at a 4-hour candles. I mean, really ugly. Let's have a look into the gold. Gold is also dumping, and it is approaching a level of previous market reactions. Decent reactions right there. However, the overall sentiment, look at Nvidia, is suffering. Nvidia 5 minutes. This is what takes us down right now. Yeah, let me share with you the chart with Bitcoin. On the daily, guys, look at the BTC. For those of you having some good time around cryptocurrencies, You know, BTC is having this lows. It's also having the 200 EMAs right there on the daily, which is a very, very powerful level. You will not going to lose this quite easily for sure. But there is a terrible risk today to touch that and then bounce from there. So BTC obviously lost a very strong demand zone that has been established for a few weeks, a few months. We're looking into the daily. And simply the markets reacted to that. But now the whole thing is taken down by the way the stock markets are pushing around. We did have that specific Ethereum hack going around the Bybit exchange, which obviously affected the space at some point. 116, 115, quite terrible action and continuation in the price section. Look at that. Zoom. Extremely bearish sentiment today. Extremely bearish sentiment. 2,800, 2,900. This is going as deep as the daily max loss for that. That's the place where things are gonna get stuck with that one. No earlier for that specific account. 21,100 is something that I'm relying on as an interesting place. 21,100s. I'm gonna simply grab another 3 positions on this one and decrease the average of my entry. We've got 8 contracts we bought into. Right now we're sitting on 156. Again, a level which is expected basically for reaction. 21,100 is a possibility here to react. The thing is, we're trading on possibilities of reaction that are very, very small. Tesla is down by 6%. Yeah, look at that. Tesla is in a place right now where it could react. Obviously at this point, 310. Could be bouncing from here, interestingly. It's also a place where we've been pushing from 310 to 480s. So it's also a place at least, to revisit your trending line, your downtrending line. At least to revisit that on Tesla. However, it is a huge dump. We're continuing, fellas, non-stop, and it's kind of obvious in the way the whole thing looks like that this is still non-stop, and it's still very, very early to long anything here, because you're, in a knife catching event. So this is a tutorial on today's performance on how not to trade. Daily loss violation, temporary deactivated, 3,787. The total loss on the singular account. So the daily loss has been touched on this one. That's the way to start it. Beautiful. And then we've got 2,500 on the other one, which is copy traded as well, in a very, very strong downtrending movement. Extremely hard to recover from this one, fellas. We got our entry on 156. Is about 100 points. Looks terrible. Looks really terrible. Tesla could fill that gap down to 250s. Let's have a look into that one, fellas. Daily. Here you go. It could, but Tesla is having its 200 days EMA very near to this, around 300s. It also comes from a previous decent low which has been established along the way. We've been moving to the upside You know, it is also about the external politics that are happening, which is something that is influencing the space of the markets a lot. This is definitely not a comfortable external environment, economical environment right now to trade, especially for longs. Just like you can see, everything is kind of getting slaughtered, nothing holds. And that's not the way to go around them. 5 minutes, there is a form of rejection here again, but it has to be confirmed, right? So it's worthless right now in the way it looks like. Yep. We do utilize stop losses, of course. We do trade with stop losses sometimes, but not always. And in this case scenario, we've been not using stop losses. We've not been expecting basically for that specific situation to have a such powerful drawdown. $21,000 is obviously an extremely strong level. It's truly confirmed. But there is a bunch of volatility here. It could go easily down to 20,750, as you can see. Those specific lows. And the hourly market. This is the hourly candle that needs that form of rejection. So it's the hourly candle which has to close at least above 21,100s. There's still 34 minutes to go out of this one. It wouldn't be a big deal, about 20 to 30 points. And then the next candle, you can have the movements above 200s, which would be quite comfortable. Again, just a temporary recovery. When 1 minute looks great here. There's a potential level of the market moving. Yeah, when you got 7,500 breathing room, it's exactly what we have here. There's also a max daily loss, which is not really affecting the account as a total finer closure. It's affecting the account temporary, and it's also affecting the account that you actually need between about 3 days to recover that. Because if you're going for the 20% consistency with the maximum earnings to keep your threshold as well, not to increase your threshold, and it's $1,500 per day. That way you keep your threshold at 7,500, which is a threshold for the payout of 3,000. Finally, a form of market structure here which could get formed for a type of recovery, for a type of push from here from the 21,000s. Obviously a possibility here for the market bouncing. But the pressure is high when you're longing against the trend, and that's not really the way to go about it. Look at the 1 minute candles. It's just a non-stop sell-off. $250s were lost, 200s were lost. Now it's the 21,000. Could be one of those days with 0 bouncings. Hey, welcome. Yeah, that would be a very strong sell-off with a 20,000 buddy. I wouldn't disagree with that, of course, by seeing the way the market is cascading. It's just that I'm in a trap right now, and I have to get out of this as positively as possible. To minimize the impact. That's the #1 priority right now. We're so far away from the 200 EMA. We're a lot below the VWAP as well. So it's a strong cascade, of course. I like to see what's happening with the... Look at a 15-minute candles, guys. Monthly low, previous month low sits around 20,700s. yearly. We've lost that. We've lost the monthly as well. So we could at least push back to the monthly. That's a place for me to exit. Pushing back to the monthly, which is 21,200s. If it has the ability, of course. Otherwise, it's just gonna continue non-stop to the downside without any pause. Which, by the way, it looks like right now. The risk is right there. $20,940s. Everything around round numbers is, 21, 22, and so anything around those round numbers is a place of reaction in theory. The thing is, every single time you touch that, you are in a specific economical environment and context. Today, the context was bearish, is still bearish. I've been in longs. So I've been trading for what we call the wrong side, while you pretty much know in the back of your mind that you're trading against the dominant environment. You're pretty much trying to squeeze 20-30 points the other side, which is nonsense, because you don't have to squeeze 20-30 points of the side that's difficult to trade. You have to squeeze 20, 30, 40, 50 points as much as you want, as much as you can from the dominant energy. Your trend is your friend. But I'm not having friends today with a trend. Look at that, fellas. I've been stuck. This was a situation where I've been stuck in a mental game for the trade. This is going I trade the 150k. The direct account, not the Zenit with 250k. I trade the 150k. We're gonna grab some Zenit accounts as well in the future. We're gonna work around those ones too, especially with the bigger payout on $4,000. That's more comfortable. It's also $12,500 to achieve your payout, which is not baby money at all. Yeah, of course, it's about the numbers, percentages. It's the same 5% you have to achieve. So your max loss is at 5%, 1-to-1 with your payout threshold at 5%. Links are in the description area for everything. The only question is if we got strength. There is, a possibility here for temporary movement. Depends on the strength of that temporary movement. 156 is on the table. I wouldn't mind to get out of this trade at that level for sure. Let's have a look at the 5 minutes. It's still a knife catching situation here. Needs a lot more data for us to be able to speak out for a possible low here, a temporary low. It's still not really close to that. Could be the beginning, could be the time it forms. Could be part of it. 84,800 on BTC and 80,000 pretty quickly. Let's take a look at the BTC. We're gonna go to the 4 hours for the Bitcoin. Bitcoin is also trying to do a reaction here. Well, Bitcoin is also going to be influenced by Nvidia earnings coming out, as far as I know, on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. So if the markets will consider Nvidia, if the stock markets will consider Nvidia earnings to be negative, and the reaction is gonna be as a outcome, then of course BTC market is gonna have another strong movement to the downside. But do not forget that on the daily, we've got the 200 EMA sitting right here. So the markets could react at this level based on that specific line, which is a line we've been reacting back in October. It was a time basically we've been pushing non-stop after such confirmation. So I wouldn't be surprised right now to see the same outcome. Obviously not in the same percentage, 83%. But as a type of behavior, a movement, especially the altcoins, which are, getting slaughtered. Altcoins are getting slaughtered, and that's the reality. Back to Nasdaq, fellas. We're sitting on 120s, and we're getting close to our entry, which is terrible. It's terrible. Let's go for those 130, 140. Although the selling pressure is already here, but the thing is, our 5-minute candle is closing nicely, guys, right now. Look at that. There's 10 seconds to go. And this 5-minute candle looks decent. So continuation would not surprise. There is a fair value gap here. There is also the monthly opening on 21,200s. Right there. You could push back to the 21,200s and still be bearish. Still revisit your lows and probably continue further. Take some liquidity below this specific one and then just fly if 21,000 is gonna hold. There is a selling pressure here which could be bought up. However, it needs time because we're in 5 minutes. Needs more time here. We're pretty much here to help each other and learn to become better traders. Learn from my positive aspects, but at the same time you have to learn from my mistakes as well. We're not hiding any numbers, we're not hiding anything. It's fully clear, transparent, as it is, as the reality looks like. That's the way we're portraying. If this specific new minor low holds on the 1 minute, that could be an interesting situation for a market continuation back to my entry. So if I wouldn't be starting on a minus, this would have been a place where I could have added to my trade. Yep, there you go. And then lower the average of the entry as well with a, clear stop loss slightly below for the value that I added additionally. Not for the entire position, just for the thing that I would have added additionally. Like, how does it feel to be almost the entire day of trading under the water for the first live stream? Feels great, right? Everyone, fellas, make sure to like the video, as well subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Together, we are going to learn how to be better traders. Participate collectively to this specific nice activity. It's called trading. 21/100s, facing rejection. This is bad, right? So if the 1 minute is closing like that, engulfing the previous candle, meanwhile it should have continued, is not good at all. Look at that. It's a very strong pressure here. However, we could still establish a form of support here. So it's kind of dangerous for me to get out when I'm so close to my entry. Especially that I'm willing to give a lot to the markets today when I know it's not my day. There are different ways we could get out of this situation. I'm always just gonna trade on stream. So there is no trading happening without being on the stream. Look at that. I'm just gonna take another increase in the size here of 3 contracts. I'm gonna long this situation here. And I'm gonna get out of this 3 contracts on 21.70. Simply the 3 contracts that I've added at this time, I'm gonna take them away in a loss at 21.70 if that happens. Looks good so far for a nice continuation. The price actually looks good. We're just 30 points away from our entry. If the market wants to deliver it, of course. You got the monthly right there. You want to touch that. So close to the 70s where I said I'm gonna exit with 3 positions. I'm gonna do that on a market order manually at the time it hits. If it hits, of course. We've got 11 contracts right now. So that's where we are. There's no market continuation. It's not really capable printing 2 or 3 candles. Here we are very close to that price section. Very, very close to that price section. Still not out. With 3 contracts, still back in the business. Come on. Give us a nice push here to the 200s. That's what you deserve. Huh. Yeah, it's very difficult to be in longs today, guys. Careful. Really careful. You want to do your math. Gotta watch this minute candle quite closely here. As I have to exit manually with 3 contracts on the 70s. That's the way I want to do this. Come on. You have the opportunity to go for a nice movement back to 200s. Retest your monthly opening. There you go. Let's see if this one holds. It's just another opportunity which could get missed, of course, just like we have been seeing in the past hour and so. Fat speaking an hour, again, it's a dangerous time. You see, there is so many opportunities here to scalp a long position. There is a form of markets holding here. I mean, 40, 50, 30, 35 points could have been achieved from this specific low. It's just that we got into our trade too early. Let's see if we can break out of this. 120, that's what we got to break out. There's multiple rejections here appearing. 1 minute. Let's do this. Yeah, not one of those big events from the Fed speaking. We broke out in a form of 130s. We broke out of that 120 top. Now it is questioned in terms of continuation. The problem is with the markets being bearish that there is so much room to be retested this specific lows that it's not kind of comfortable to be in longs at all. Right? 142, very close to our entry. Just a few minutes ago we were down $1,800 on this one. Now it sits positively. A nice take profit on 167. Might de-risk a little bit in terms of contracts. We sold 3 contracts, de-risking a little bit. We want to decrease the size, right? Give me 10 points. Come on. 10 points, that's the only thing. Kind of risky. Have to de-risk 3 contracts again. Oops, not the limit order. Orders. Gotta take these orders out. And we gotta change this thing back to the market order. That's why we still had 11 contracts. Because we were sitting on limit orders from the time I set. No, let's just put this thing back to our exit. 5:30, but at the same time de-risk
Order filled.
some of the contracts right here. Looks like it's getting stuck at 160. We de-risked 3 contracts. Hey, thank you, Tawny. Thank you, buddy. We got some interesting times. Oh, look at that. Oh, in terms of the crypto bull market, right? Probably that's what you're asking me, Tawny. BTC has been in a bull market for more than a year already. So it's just a question about the altcoins. In terms of the altcoins, we're definitely not going to see a bull market of the altcoins in a form of bull market where everything is increasing without questions. We have already seen a type of a bull market for the altcoins that were moving in a very specific, unique way based on the hype that specific category and that specific type of cryptocurrencies had. So it's right now narrowed and it's very specific and segmented. It's no longer an overall bull market, but more likely a very specific bull market where certain cryptocurrencies are going to move. The other category will be part of a so-called for the first time we're gonna get cryptos missing bull market conditions. This is a place of possible reaction here for the Nasdaq. The 20s that we had rejecting, it's possible that 20s to hold us. Right, we're very close to touch our take profit. Look at that. We were on 160 and we got our take profit on 166, right? 6 points. Obviously, in so many cases, it happens to be just a single point or a single tick away. $641 profit would be right there. We would still be in minus with this one, but since we were part of a terrible trade, taking this a little bit higher, as putting together another 30 points from here, if it's to go to the upside, wouldn't be an issue at all. Especially, just like I said, the monthly opening sits on the 200s, so there is room to go with this one to the 200s. I could also enforce my position here, but I'm not willing to do that. Have to be cautious in terms of risk management, right? Have to be careful with those things. Hey, Fernando, thank you for writing me. You also thank you for purchasing accounts. As per your signed agreement, your account has been terminated. Depends why it has been terminated. Depends what's the reason for that. I could explain you as long as I would know the reason behind your account being terminated. Usually that's an email that you receive when you broke the rules, when a specific rule has not been respected. And most of the time, it is the problem with the micro scalping rule. Micro scalping, exactly. Well, that's a rule which has to be respected. So simply, you have to hold your position, generally speaking, at least 5 seconds. There is an exception to those 5 seconds, which means before the market and after the market openings with 5 minutes, you gotta hold during that time for a minimum 10 seconds. So if you abuse this specific rule, the account is gonna get terminated. It's a hard rule, it has to be fully respected. So the micro scalping, yeah. So you got basically a trade representing 7 seconds from what you're writing. And the time is minimum 10 seconds. So 3 extra seconds would have saved your account. Minimum 3 extra seconds. You want to be aware, just like I said, fellas, the micro scalping rule, it's kind of the only thing. It's pretty much obvious. No, you just lose your one account that has been doing that. You only lose the account where you performed such a thing. You don't lose your account as a person, as a trader. Depends. If you did that on a copy trading on all 3 accounts or all the 5 accounts, obviously you lose your accounts where you performed that. It's a mistake that you managed to do. I'm not sure if you were aware or not. The thing is, it does not matter if you say you were aware or not. They cannot help you with that. As you already know, and you could already guess, everyone would say that they're not aware of that rule just to escape. So it's not really feasible to do it that way. Rules gotta be respected for the trading environment to function and for the company to exist. Otherwise, simply, it would go bankrupt. By the way, in January, Ticktick Trader had 3 years anniversary. I'm gonna add to my position here. This is a very interesting spot. This is exactly where we have pushed earlier, back to the 160s. So I'm gonna
Order
add 3
filled.
contracts again. We've got to gain 11 contracts with this one. Looking for the 60s to hold. Make sure to like the video, fellas, subscribe to the channel, and keep in touch. We are going to live stream from Monday to Friday on the US opening, have a bunch of discussion, cover news, and speak about strategies. You will be able to learn from me things that you want to do, but also things that you would like to avoid, right? So it's just about a learning experience for my viewers, and this is the most important thing. It's kind of a very powerful sell-off here in the last 10 minutes that we're facing. We were very close to exit. We were sitting around 5-6 points, and it has not been touched. So we're back into the minus sector. We're back into the lows again. Bunch of candles of 1 minute dominating the space. We could get a nice chop at this level on 21,000s. Otherwise, if we break the lows, it's going to be quite painful. It's going to be a daily loss limit hit. I'm not going to exit out of this position earlier than that in terms of loss. But I'd like to exit out of this position at my target. I was thinking about the monthly opening, which is a good target, 21,200. It's just that the market's reversed a little earlier. Two hours and 4 minutes we are on our stream. Not very productive today. Not productive at all. This is a 5 minutes that must react. What minute is not looking that ugly? Last 3 to 4 minutes looks interesting. Have a good one, fellas. Cheers. Even with such position in minus, we still gotta enjoy. Make sure to like the video, and looking forward a better reaction from the markets on this little chopping that goes around at this level. We got an entry at the middle of the range, as this is an averaged entry. So obviously if we would have had a fresh opportunity to long this place right here, wouldn't be a bad idea, with a stop loss quite tight right below on the 33, about 30 points, 40 points. Five-minute could look nice here, really nice, if it's rebounding from here. Right, so the average of our entry is 110. 110 is right there. 110. Let's have a look at the crypto markets for a minute. $86,900 on Bitcoin. Obviously, this has been going down non-stop. Ethereum as well has been suffering non-stop, sitting on 2,400s, chopping around this level, waiting for Nvidia. Everything is probably waiting for Nvidia. Look at the NQ. That's a terrible 1 minute candle. Probably it's going to chop around 21,000s till Nvidia comes out. It's kind of very hard to believe this is going to push back to 21,500s without Nvidia results on the EPS. I'm sure you guys feel the same. So in terms of the micro scalping, is 5 minutes before the market opens with 5 minutes into the market. 10 seconds apply during that segment. After or before that segment, 5 seconds apply. Even before the market closes, you have to be careful. It's the same rule. Right? So for the best out of the best, either you avoid that specific period because simply your strategy requires you to act very fast and you're going to be in a position that you don't want to be, so you don't want to lose your account. The microscoping is not just for the market openings. Before the market opens with 5 minutes, after the market opens with 5 minutes, but also before the market closes with 5 minutes. I'm not sure what you mean by if you're trading 3 accounts at the same time, then you go long with the other one. You can pretty much long your 3 accounts. You can trade all the 3 in the same direction by doing copy trading. That's totally fine. Not the best looking 5 minute candle so far. We need this one on a better closing. There is too much rejection coming out above. You know, this is a place, of course, so far in the way it looks like, that wants to hold. Yet it has to deliver on that, right? So it wants to hold, which means it also needs to push higher. 1 minute looks decent. Look at the beauty behind this 1 minute. It's time to add an extra 3 contracts to this position,
Order
fellas.
filled.
We have 14 contracts. If the market wants to have another round of, look at that, again another 20 points of rejection just after I got into another 3 contracts. That 1 minute closing so strongly with green would have been so nice. There's still 10 seconds to go out of that one. Let's have a look into the 1 minute candles. 4 seconds, 2 seconds to go. We closed kind of decent here. Right, so the average of our entry right now is 105. There you go. We could nicely push for a double top on 150, 160. So then we would have the opportunity to get out of this situation positively. However, like I said, target number 1 here is to reduce the losses, because today we were fighting with the longs and we were kind of on the other side of the markets. So looking forward, surviving. There is a form of support building around this level, 50s, 60s. It's just a question if it wants to hold and give us another movement above 100s. It's not about there is so much room to the upside. It is about at least retesting the possibility of a double top and then you chop back to the same level. Again, let's not forget about the monthly opening on the 200s. Right, I keep talking about the longs because this is what I'd like to catch right now. We're not on the same page, of course, you're not looking for those targets. Hey fellas, again, for those of you that have joined lately, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're live streaming from Monday to Friday on the opening time, of course. We're gonna have great time. Of the priority will be education from the mistakes that I do, which is also a great source of education, especially for you as viewers. And then, of course, from the good trades that I also perform, which is another great source of education. It's just about learning and learning. That never should come to an end. It's just a little bit harder for someone that is live trading to learn. Yeah, it is more about surviving in a such context. But I'm not gonna feel sorry for myself. This is something that I love doing. And this is something that I really enjoy. I'm perfectly aware about the possible losses, of course. Yeah, 6 and usually. That's the normal way to consider At some point, we might revisit our 200 EMA. Again, another great spot here to reinforce my long. We're out here on 14 contracts. I'm not gonna do it. There is bullish presence here, but it is kind of weak so far. $30 points below our entry. With a breakout above the structure we've been establishing here, it's just going to send us above our entry, and then things could get a little different. We're gonna put a fireworks. Just like this. We're gonna put this fireworks at the time we exit. Exactly, you see them right now. The only bad part about it, it's having no sound. And fireworks without sound is not that exciting. No. Look at that. Come on. I mean, you got to close above 85. That's the only thing you got to do on 1 minute. 20 seconds, close above 85. That's another level here. So you want to convert that specific selling pressure and unleash the movement. 7, 6 seconds. There you go. Rejection is still there. Not at this time. Let's have a look into this 1 minute candle. I mean, give us 20 points. That's something we could feel, right? That's something that breaks out of levels and simply changes the direction. Otherwise, it's just gonna chop at this level till Nvidia comes out. I'm not sure if we're going lower than this. Unlikely, as it looks like so far. Once again, fellas, for those of you that would like to grab your accounts at Ticktick Trader, that's the link. The coupon code is SCRAMBLE at the checkout, giving you max discount available 40% for direct accounts. Trade Evade, Project X, TradingView, Ninja Trader, you can connect your accounts like that and perform. Ticktick Trader has been online for 3 years already. In January, they run their anniversary performing prop firm services, and they do have this specific instant funding, which is extremely exciting, so that's very nice. I do have many videos on my channel about the way they're working, so feel free to check those out. For more details, you can also reach out on my Discord for a great time. Come on, you just want to push above 90s. That's the place that bothers us. Look at that. That's the place that bothers us. We're gonna go like this. 95. Between 90 to 95. That's something that keeps right now Nasdaq under pressure. We're not going to get out of this position. There is a nice possibility to get back to 150s, 160s. We might be de-risking some of that 14 contracts that we have. It's a little bit dangerous with that. Depends how does the charts and the movement looks like. But still, we are in a very interesting time. Once again, fellas, on my X profile, make sure to join the contacts. We're giving away 3 accounts for free today. Direct, instant funded 3 accounts. The links can be discovered on my Discord. So from there, you will be able to see my latest post, latest videos right there on the left side. We've got the video here with major event, live stream, and giveaway. You want to go to that video and you got the links to my profile from that video, or you can find that video on my channel. From you will be able to join the contest. I'm gonna draw the winners very, very soon, all the 3 winners. We're gonna draw 5 guys, making sure if there's 2 guys not contacting me or reaching out to take their prize, we have extra people to give out. Looks pretty bad so far. Looks pretty bad. We're not able to break out. We're still at this level. Well, the support is expected. Again, this is another level where you could add to a long and just get back to the structure, but it's something that I've been already quite a lot into. 14 contracts right there. It's too much, guys. Yeah, you're gonna get a free account if you are the winner. And you will be able to activate your account at a time you prefer. A 50k account, which is great, to go for the payout, practice, exercise, and become a better trader. Keep in mind, trading is not easy, as you can see this, and as you already know. So, practicing time, it is always welcome. It is a type of business that you don't learn and always perform good. You learn how to perform well, but the problem is there are so many times and so many cases when our mental side is the one that keeps us away from making profits. Right? So it's not a kind of a business where you are in a specific state and never change that. Like being profitable never happens to change that into a non-profitable trader. Definitely not. It is a business that will always require from you a high level of discipline, a high level of market understanding, and especially if you do day trading, then you need qualities for that. Oh, there is no any other solution for the giveaway. That's the place we're running the giveaway. That's the only place the giveaway is running at this time on X. What a poor market movement. I mean, we're ranging here, chopping around, and I'm sitting in this minus for a while already. Kind of difficult, of course, to digest this. But again, it is do or die for me in this trade, so we're gonna work it around it with the max daily loss. That's the point. It's a good place again for me to add to my position here. If the market wants to reverse, then this is the place it could do it. If the market wants to go down from here, then simply my max daily loss is going to be right there stopping it. This is a nice place basically, with a possibility of continuous reaction. We're just a few dollars away, a few points away from hitting the daily max loss on this specific account as well. So then we're gonna go straight to discuss our winners. Yeah, not the best day so far in terms of trading. Pretty bad. Nothing holds, nothing delivers. Definitely not the best situation here. It's do or die for the markets. Yet nothing to enjoy a nice Ticktick Trader Cup, especially during a day when you just didn't figure it out. Is this gonna roll over? Where's the buying pressure? Come on, 50 points quickly. We could trigger that. Someone could say, why not? 50 points quickly. No, I'll have to add to my position here. Bringing in another 3 contracts quickly.
Order filled.
Market order 3 contracts. We're sitting on 17 contracts. You know, I'm ready to pay the price of a mistake. We're also very close to the max daily loss, so that's the day. That's it. You have to accept the reality as it is and just fight for a better. Yeah, there you go. We broke below, but we didn't touch the max daily loss. And the market could bounce from here, so we could have been grabbing a bit of liquidity from the lows and then just move. But it's also likely to continue down, and then it's pretty much over. If it breaks this specific low that we just did right now, it's kind of over for the trading today. There you go. Temporary deactivated, right? So tomorrow we are going to be back in the business functioning. The max daily loss has been touched as well on this one with this specific low that has been breaking below. We were quite close here. That's the issue, fellas. At this time, if you remember, on that specific high, this one right here, we went up to 160 and I was having my take profit at 166. A take profit which represented at that time a break even. We were under the water for the moment, yet we had the ability to break even pretty much 6 points away. But of course the entry was quite high and it was a long distance, a long way to go. Then we were holding into a market structure that did had some opportunities at this time. Take a look at that, fellas. Did had some opportunities at this time. Breaking above did not happen. Multiple rejections, and it rolls over. So what we're gonna do right now is simply just continue our activity doing our giveaway event. Let's do this right now. Yeah, probably tomorrow is gonna be better, not an issue. We're gonna do our live stream giveaway with 3 different accounts. We got it, set it up right here. I'm gonna pick my link, put the URL. We are going to go by a single winner we're gonna do at this time. Adding the settings here. Any minimum tweet, latest tweet at any time, account older than 1 week, minimum followers, 1 follower the person must have, minimum, right? So there's no hard rules at all. We're gonna pick our first winner for the 50k account giveaway. Cannot get engagers from quotes. There is an arrow right here appearing on the bottom right corner. Let's get the retweet solution basically and pick our winner from the retweet solution. And the first guy is Diba Rowie. This is the first winner. You gotta reach out to me on Discord. Our Discord basically is on my description area, my comments area. You find my Discord everywhere. I'm also having the ability to share that with you guys in the chat later on. So this is the first winner. We're gonna do another round, pick a winner with a second one, and this boy right here, Artist Box, is the second winner with that specific username. Obviously I'm gonna verify the username at the time we reach out and verify the winner as well. So this is the second guy, winner of a 50k account. Let's go for the third one. Louis J is the third guy. So these 3 persons basically are the main winners of the 50k accounts. We're gonna draw 2 extra winners in case some of these guys will not reach out to me. You have to reach out to me once again on my Discord. So we're gonna add extra 2 guys in case someone is not gonna reach out to me to have a place to select from. Right now is the 4th. Moha, you're the 4th winner. And then the 5th guy right here is going to be Janet. You're the 5th, right? So 2 guys must be inactive in order for you to be the selected one, right? Great. So that's where we are, fellas, with this specific experience. Look at the markets reacting. Obviously, it just, went slightly below 21,000 and then it reacts. Beautiful. Yep. How do you enter for this? We're going to do more giveaways, guys. We're going to handle more and more giveaways on this specific experience. In terms of, the current situation, obviously, it has not been a good day. It has not been a decent day at all. It has been a pretty much terrible day. Yet, this is part of the business. It's also important for, my viewers and community to transparently see these days as well. And you can never start a live stream show better than with losses. Because this is clearly how the honesty and transparency looks like in its most pure way, right? So pretty much open lesson here with mistakes from where you can learn and be a much better person. That's pretty much all for today, guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna end our stream. We're gonna enjoy, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video as well, and we are going to talk tomorrow. The same starting time, 5 to 10 minutes delays or so, depends. We're looking forward a better time. Again, NVIDIA is going to be out there tomorrow. Difficult time, difficult day as well in terms of trading, but we're going to focus and perform better. That's our main job. Right, beautiful fellas, once again, thank you for watching. Waiting you on my Discord for waiting you for my Discord to take your accounts, to take your winners. We got the first 3 guys announced, and then obviously the other 2 in case we've got missing fellas. That's pretty much, once again, fellas, looking forward to it. By tomorrow. Enjoy, take care, and careful in trading. Have a good time.